10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the rocket pool community. My name is Wack. Today is October 25th, and we've got a quick episode for you all here today, so let's get started with that. The first thing we're going to talk about is this protocol update that Maverick put out. It's the bi-weekly, so he says, hey everyone, check the latest bi-weekly here if you haven't already. So we're going to look through that next. He says then tune into the next community call soon, which was 13 hours ago, to hear more from Ken hosting Langers and Mav, and then that's here, and then there's a link, and he says finally you may be interested to check out a research project funded by the GMC that's starting to get underway. And then this is from OpenUX and the work that they're doing. It says also look for an announcement in the near future where you can help out with this by completing a short survey. So let's go through these one by one, and we can start here with the bi-weekly update. So here it says rETH increased 0.3% to 535,000, which is an annualized growth of 7%. Pending active mini pool count grew 0.2%, which is an annual growth of 6%. And node operator count increased to 3,296, which is annualized growth of 16%. So the numbers are pretty much flat with small amounts of growth, and that is actually kind of in line with the Ethereum staking at the moment, kind of like how I showed you yesterday, where staking's kind of gone flat, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit more at the end of the episode as well. So here we have some smart node information. It says that version 1.11.0 was released as a recommended update for all node operators because of the clients, and that of course had Haleshki support in there as well. With R&D, we had Fornax join the team as the Golang developer to work on the smart node. And then there's news of a junior developer who's going to be onboarded in the new year. We got work on Houston happening, which includes tweaking the PDAO voting performance and RPL withdrawal address functionality. And other R&D topics that were talked about were including website stuff, and images are coming through, staking site performance updates, the rETH reward calculator API, and other development work. With governance, we had the RPIP4 vote that finished, and there was a whole lot of discussion about that. And then there's a lot of governance work that's ongoing, and there's feedback that was saw on the management committee's budget information. GMC vote is going to start for the new slate of members. And then we also had OpenUX gave an update about their ongoing research, which we're going to talk about next. Then there was feedback about the draft for RPIP 34 and the creation of an operational processes framework. And then there's the latest PDAO treasury report that was available. And Nethermind shared a tokenomics review for oh, interesting, I've not seen that. And then there was about team funding as well. With integrations, the IMC was working with PancakeSwap. Ledger Live now supports rETH liquid staking. Umi supporting rETH. I think that's on Cosmos. And then we have rETH holders on EVMOS. I think that's on a different layer one as well. And then we have Devos with rETH on Arbitrum, and a new restaking protocol built on EigenLayer supports rETH as well. I think that's Astrid Finance. With media marketing, we had Defiant News. Langers was an SSV network on their community call, and there was a talk in Australia as well. Istanbul planning is underway. Team members are boarding their flights in 2 weeks, and Langers will be talking about Rocket Pool at the Nethermind Summit. And then they're still asking for people to indicate their attendance for Istanbul in the Discord. Aave are talking about swapping their ETH into rETH. More than half of all RPL tokens are now staked. And there was MISO and Avado were putting out Rocket Pool related information. And then Layer 3, a Quest platform, talked about Rocket Pool, and then a guest from DForce joined the community call, and then there was some new listings on Finst and Hotscoin for the RPL token. So please make sure that you do your research before you get on either of those exchanges, of course, because I don't know anything about them. Okay, next, of course, Maverick also mentioned that there was a community bi-weekly community call. So Sneaky was amazing and provided a really great summary. So he says that audits for the Houston contracts are around 3.5 weeks away, so they're really close. He says the junior developer has been identified and they're expected to come on board very early in the new year. I'm not sure why that is. It might be that they're finishing up current duties or something. And then says the team is very happy with how the PDAO system voting development is coming along. And it's basically done at this point. Plan to be start testing on this development on the DevNet next week. So that is the new voting system that is going to go into place in the Houston update, and that is going to be on-chain voting. So it will remove the PDAO guardianship that the team currently controls. So this is one of the last steps, big steps towards decentralization that Rocket Pool as a protocol is going to be taking, which is absolutely amazing. And then Sneaky says that the team was shooting to open up the DevNet to the community around the same time that audit starts, so the community can start testing those updates. With the website, information has come that they're aiming for launch around Dev Connect, which is in about 2 weeks' time. Kane has already done a lot of the mega pool design, and I guess he's going to be putting that into an RPIP soon. The team is expecting much of the remaining challenges to be related to governance and bonding curves. So that is the stuff that we've been talking about a lot in Discord. So I think it's really important that we're going to start having these conversations really soon to make sure everything is in place, way in advance of the Saturn update actually going live. So Jasper was saying, we've got 6 months basically to make sure we get everything right. And then it'll probably take another 6 months or so of audits and updates and all that kind of stuff to happen on the Ethereum updates on the Ethereum side. For all that kind of stuff to happen to make sure that we can launch it in a really great way. So I'm super excited about that. And then it says development funding. The team is looking for a 12-month cadence for PDAO funding approvals with quarterly reporting to the community. The team is currently paid 3.3% of RPL inflation, but they're seeking to ask for about 5% to operate at break even, and they're expected to change as the protocol grows. So as the value of RPL gets higher, I presume that they'll be asking for less, but I'm not sure exactly how that will work, and still all currently being discussed, but the intent is to eventually get this into an RPIP and up for the vote. So that makes sense. Langas, Mav, Grant and Kane from the Rocket Pool team will be attending Dev Connect in Istanbul. 8 and 9 community members have also indicated that they'll be attending, but I think then the reality is that there'll be a little bit more than that actually attending as well. And Langas will be on a panel on the decentralization panel at the Nethermind Summit, which is also happening in Istanbul. And those are some of the notes that Sneaky took, but of course they're not fully comprehensive. So if you want to get more of those, if you want the full information, then it might be best for you to go straight to the community call and get that information from there. Okay, and then Mav also talked about this post from OpenUX. So here we had Landsman from OpenUX saying, we're onboarding a recent project on Node Operator UX that was arranged through the latest grants round. Thank you for letting us work with you. If you want to know more about this project, you can check out Project Hub, where we've gathered relevant info, links, etc. So then they're just talking about they want to keep the project transparent, and here's an update of where we are, shaping the user segmentation for the work we'll be doing based on input from the wider community. So the sources are, the Rocket Pool Discord, Rocket Pool Forum, Reddit discussions. So that's in the Rocket Pool and ETH Staker channels, and discussions with people from the community and the team. Based on this, we're working with the assumption that two key dimensions for segmenting node operators are the level of technical ability and the number of nodes they run. So here they're talking about segmentation and different things around that, and then like their level of tech ability and how many validators they have. So it says wide number of mini pools. So it says understanding how behaviors and attitude vary between node operators, with few versus many mini pools is valuable to Rocket Pool, since these user groups are assumably attracted by different parts of Rocket Pool's value proposition. For people with few mini pools, the fact that Rocket Pool makes it possible to stake less than 32 ETH may be a critical benefit. And for people with many mini pools, the value proposition may differ, since they have the option to do solo staking. This study will pay attention to needs, behaviors, and attitudes that will correlate with the number of mini pools the node operator runs. So then there's technical ability as well, and then they say why is the combination of these dimensions Rocket Pool's value proposition beyond democratization. So then we had Waldorf with a response right away saying these dimensions seem quite relevant. I might suggest using the amount of bonded ETH instead of the number of mini pools as your x-axis, i.e. count 16 mini pools more than LEB8s on that dimension. And then Landsman said, that's a great comment, thanks. So if you want to provide feedback and any ideas to OpenUX, then reach out to them on the forum or message Landsman and share some time. But like Mav said, we'll be getting a survey from them soon, and I think they'll be happy for community members to provide their feedback. Okay, next is this spam that happened in the events channel overnight, which is Thomas distributing ETH from some of his validators. So it's saying that there was a whole lot of validators that Thomas was basically closing, and I think what is happening is that these validators will then be spun up into his second node that he's setting up and doing. So this is really interesting to see, and I don't think it's anything to be concerned about necessarily. Thomas has been in trading a lot recently, talking about Rocket Pool and how he's still so aligned with Rocket Pool, but that was quite a whole lot of validators that he was kind of closing down there. So those I'm fairly sure will be spun up on his second node, and the community's been asking him for a while to split his validator into multiple nodes because there was just too many validators on one machine. But it's pretty cool that he's doing that. I think that was kind of where it ended, but yeah, that's cool, Thomas, thank you for that. And then just as Thomas was spinning down validators and kind of filling up the deposit pool, then we had a couple of really big burns of rETH coming in. So here one of them was for 886 rETH, which is 964 ETH, and then there was another one for 1028 rETH, which is 1117. And if we have a look at Rocket Scan, we can see now that the balance of the mini pool is 1000 over full. So that's just showing that there's more ETH than there is. There's more ETH in the deposit pool than is arbable at the moment. So we'll have to wait for people either to burn that or to people to spin up validators without trying to arb the premium. And at the moment there is no premium anyway, so the premium is 0%. It's literally 0%. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Okay, next here there was this meetup that happened in Perth yesterday with Ramana and Jagan sign up, and this was really great because it's always nice for people from the Rocket Pool community who kind of go out their way and meet up with people in different places in the world. And Ramana and I, of course, met up in London a few months ago, and he's in Perth at the moment. So Jagan sign up, I guess, is in that area, and they were able to meet up, which is really cool. I think doing like these community meetups is such a great way to kind of meet people who are really well aligned on at least on like crypto Rocket Pool stuff, because even in crypto, right, like if you meet someone like they're enthusiastic about crypto, there's so many different facets about crypto now that might not appeal to you at all. Like, someone might be really into crypto and they're just like the NFT collector, and it might be that you don't care about NFTs at all. Whereas if you're meeting people from the Rocket Pool community, then you know that this is a person who is who's enthusiastic about staking, who's enthusiastic about Rocket Pool, and that just makes it that much cooler that you can talk to people about those things. So Ramana is someone who's always willing to meet up, and I think he's got another meetup planned while he's in Australia before going back to London. And then he's someone who's always welcome to people meeting up with him in London as well. So reach out to Ramana if you want to meet up with him, or just tell people that you're interested in meeting up. And if there's people in your area, then you might be able to make that happen. Of course, take whatever security precautions that you are comfortable with before you do that. And there's not been any stories of $5 wrench attacks yet, but you never know, so please stay safe. Okay, so moving on past Rocket Pool now, here we had this post from Swell that was introducing super Swell ETH, I guess, SWETH. So it says deposit staked ETH in this vault for a boosted pearl hunting and up to 18% yield from staking plus redirected DAO revenue. All STETH deposited is unstaked and swapped for SWETH, helping diversify Ethereum. And then there's a Swell network vault, and I think that vault is powered by Enzyme. Yeah, it's powered by Enzyme Finance. 180-day duration, non-custodial, withdraw at any time, 7 days after depositing. And then Pearl boosts will be replaced with Swell at the end of the voyage. And then that's their token. And then it says collect 50 pearls for spreading the word about super SWETH to qualify. Yeah, and then you can do that as well. But I'm not doing that. But then it says that 18% is for early adopters and represents a max boosted yield. So they're doing the same kind of thing that Diva have done with their vault, and in fact it's the same people running their vault, Enzyme Finance. And it's the same idea that you'll put in your STETH, and after 6 months you'll accrue rewards, and then it'll be swapped for the Swell ETH, SWETH, and then they'll use that to kind of bootstrap their launch to give them like that boost of TVL from the beginning. Now there've been a couple of groups that have been doing this kind of thing, and like just this idea of the Lido dominance being too much and kind of like taking away from that's been growing. And here we have this Twitter bot that checks Lido dominance every day, and as you can see, like if you go back in time, it was in the beginning it was 32.2%, and then it's slowly drifted downwards since then, and now it is 31.47%. So every day it's coming down a little bit, and that's because of people who are leaving Lido, but it's also because of eventually it'll be because of people swapping out their STETH for other kinds of liquid staking tokens, and that's pretty cool. So that's really nice to see. Okay, and then finally, I just want to finish with this thread here, which is the vampire thread. So a bunch of people in the Rocket Pool and ETH finance communities have been working on setting up a kind of vampire attack on Lido as well. And Jasper asked, what's the progress here? And Ramana said it's in progress, and Kaiser Merkel is hoping for a Halloween launch. And then Kaiser Merkel gave an update. This is from like last week, saying the feature complete MVP, and we are writing tests and preparing for mainnet fork node to hopefully have a beta before Halloween, so we can get funds for an audit, etc. And he says mainnet launch by then would probably mean that we launch unaudited, but depending on how the testing goes. And then says Diva wants to do a marketing push, Halloween, vampires, etc., and would be cool to collaborate. Also talking to him about Pipe 3 that could feed the Enzyme pool, for instance. And then we got information from the Swell people here, Daniel, and then Scipio asked, how's this looking for Halloween? And then Ramana said hope with fingers crossed. So it looks like there's a few different things that are kind of going on, but it's really exciting to see. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to end today's episode. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.